Okie dokie, here we are. Hi. Where's my thoughts on Genesis chapter 21? I can't get over these people. So Sarah couldn't have kids, so she gave Abraham her slave Hagar, and then when she got pregnant, Sarah beat her. She ran off into the desert, cried in the desert, but God came to her and said, no, you need to go back to Sarah and be there, because I'm going to give you this wild donkey of a child that you are going to raise, and he's going to have every hand raised against him. Like, he just heaps punishment on her. And then Sarah goes on to have a kid because God said she could have a kid. So now the slave who has a son by her master, Sarah's husband, she's just like pretty much set aside because of Sarah's joy. But Sarah saw that the son whom Hagar the Egyptian had borne to Abraham was mocking. How mocking could he be if she was able to set him under a bush and leave him there because he's young enough to sit there and cry? So she just views him in a mocking light. Not that the child is doing any mocking. She's jealous of this child. He'll not share in any inheritance with my son. And the matter distressed Abraham. Well, he has a conscience when it comes to his children, I guess, but not his wife. Sarah, listen to whatever Sarah tells you. Sarah's right. I mean, Sarah's the one who's talking to God, evidently, because God's just like, do whatever she says. I will make the son of the slave into a nation also. This demeaning language, I don't know if it's a translation, but none of this is good. None of it is moral. None of it is godly. These are terrible people. And then to say the son of the slave, who's being treated terribly just by being a slave, but then inside of that relationship. And then she gets exiled, set out in the desert, where she sits about a bow shot away because she thought, I cannot watch the boy die. So this is, what, an infant? A 1-year-old? A toddler? What are we... Because Abraham cut off his schmuck when he was 99 years old, and then he has a child at 100. So right before he cut off his schmuck, he had a kid with Hagar. How old is this kid? Can't be very old in this story, even though they make it seem like it's years apart. And then they're gonna make him a great nation, but God already said that he was gonna have this horrible life, the son of Hagar. And God opened her eyes and she saw a well, and then the Treaty of Beersheba. Is this Treaty of Beersheba about the well that Hagar discovered by the angel? And Abimelech has control over it, and Fecal Matter, the commander of his forces, said to Abraham, God is with you in everything you do. What a piece of shit! What an utter globular, just lump of fecal matter. It is. Now swear to me here before God that you will not deal falsely with me or my children or my descendants. How could this God that backs Abraham is awful, and these people who agree with it, Abimelech and Fecal, I just don't know. Show me in the country where you now reside as a foreigner same kindness I have shown you. I swear it. So to make this treaty over this well, why have you set apart these 7 ewes? So he pays Abimelech off to say, hey, just let's just say I dug this well. As witness that I dug this well, the well that the angel gave to Hagar. He's now paying off Abimelech. Now I see where all the corruption comes from. So corrupt, morally bankrupt, like beyond bankrupt. They returned to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and then he called on the name of the Lord, the eternal God, and Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines for a long time. So Abimelech and Phicol returned to the land of the Philistines, and Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines. So were they somewhere else when all this was taking place? I just don't know. So Hagar's son gets to be lifted up to make a great nation now. And Abraham gets this well. That's swell.